How do you defer student loans? It's actually fairly simple, although you might not qualify, in which case you would want to use something that is somewhat interchangeable with deferment when people talk about pausing their student loan payments, which is forbearance. What is deferment? Deferment allows you to pause payments on your student loans while you are qualifying under a certain set of situations. The most common is for in-school deferment. When you're taking out your loans, borrowers do not have to pay back those loans while you're in school. That makes sense because obviously you're a student, and to make payments on loans that you're funding your education with would not make a ton of sense, right? So that's why the Department of Education allows you to defer your student loans while in school. And most private lenders have the same policy, by the way. Now, in terms of other kinds of deferments, there's actually other types as well, and it's really quite detailed, the number of deferment options that there are. Some include active duty service in the military, which allows you to defer your student loans. Others are treatment for cancer. If you can fill that application out, you can get your payments paused with that deferment. And there's other deferments as well, such as for graduate fellowships or for Parent Plus borrowers and other options too. And so what is deferment and how does it differ from forbearance? Basically, deferment does not count towards the 3 years worth of forbearance or paused payments that you get under the federal student loan program. So that means that you could really go for quite a long time into more degree programs or residency or fellowship, for example, and you could pause payments for a very, very long time, especially for federal student loans, basically almost indefinitely, if you qualify for one of these set of deferments that exist. So the other option that maybe a lot more physicians and dentists are familiar with is not in-school deferment, it's residency or fellowship deferment. So you can basically pause your payments while you're in residency, and that allows you to basically not be stressed out with monthly payments when you're probably only making, a low to mid 5-figure salary, right? So getting deferment is actually fairly easy. All you have to do is call up your loan servicer and ask them if you're eligible for any deferment options. Deferment is always preferable to forbearance because deferment allows you to not accrue interest on certain kinds of loans, like different Perkins loans or subsidized Stafford student loans. You're basically on pause for the interest for those kind of loans when you're in a deferment, whereas forbearance, those interest costs are just going to compound. Deferment, a lot of the interest costs on unsubsidized Stafford and Grad Plus loans grow, but they grow basically at a linear rate during that deferment, and at the end of the deferment, those interest costs get added to your principal balance and generate interest costs too. So deferment is not a good thing in the sense of that you should be seeking it out and excited if you get it. It's just something that allows you to keep your payments from having to be a problem in certain circumstances. So again, student loan servicers are excellent at signing people up for deferment. They're not that great at getting you to pay back your loans, and most of the problems and complaints involve loan servicers not making it easy for people to get set up for loan forgiveness and income-driven repayment options. But they are pretty good and generous and lenient about helping you sign up for deferment options. And remember, if for whatever reason you can't get approved for a deferment, you can always call and ask for a forbearance. If you have questions about getting your loans deferred, leave them in the comments below. Here's an example of how to figure out what form to send in and what kind of deferment that you could qualify for. If you just type in federal student loan forms, you'll find this federal student loans forms from studentloans.gov. You can see what forms are available, and then you can see deferment as an option. So if you scroll down here, you'll see you have the cancer treatment deferment form, economic hardship, which includes Peace Corps deferment, graduate fellowship deferment, in-school deferment, you must be enrolled at least half-time, military active service, Parent Plus, rehabilitation training for individuals with disabilities, temporary total disability deferment, and unemployment deferment. All of these are the different kinds of deferments that you could qualify for, and if you wanted to see the specific requirements for that, you could simply come in here and open this up in a new tab, and you'd be able to see what kind of requirements are necessary for getting certified for this kind of deferment. So that's how you do it.